Welcome. My name is Henning Pisunka. I'm an assistant professor at INSEAD in the entrepreneurship department. Today, with us, Randy Commissar, senior partner at Kleiner Perkins. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Henning.
Randy, you have been an investor for quite a while now. Give us a feeling of your kind of daily life. How does the daily life of a venture capitalist look like?
Well, I spend a great deal of my time looking at new ventures. So whether they're reviewing plans that are sent to me online or whether it's taking meetings with entrepreneurs, I'm hearing new ideas all the time and meeting new people. The other part of my, large part of my time is spent with my existing companies. I sit on the board of 10 companies right now, which is about a common board load for somebody with my tenure. And so those companies all need help.
If I'm a CEO of a venture-based company, how do kind of companies succeed in leveraging you the most, or kind of in leveraging a venture capitalist the most? I mean, you get the money, but you get much more than the money. So how do you get the most out of this relationship?
I would say that the least valuable thing we bring to a transaction is the money. The money is a commodity, particularly in a place like Silicon Valley. In many places on the planet, venture capital is still very scarce, but in the San Francisco area, there's a surplus of capital. So we need to bring value, and the value that we bring really is at the board level in helping to develop the talent of the founding team and also to help in the running of the business.
Help me to take the perspective of the CEO here for a second. So I'm the CEO, you're the venture capitalist. How do I engage you in the best way? What's my way to benefit from you?
Well, it's good to have an agenda of things. So for instance, what I do is I set up meetings where weekly or bi-weekly, I actually have either a phone call or a sit-down meeting with a CEO. And I encourage them to come in with a clear agenda on the things that they want to talk about. Some of my CEOs do better with that than others. Some do a free-form discussion, but many of them will walk in with actual agenda of items that they want to discuss. Those items may not relate specifically to the running of the business. They may relate to issues that they're having in terms of their own ability to lead. They may run into issues of their own personal health and balance. I have CEOs who I help guide around health and wellness in addition to running the business. You really do become a close friend to these people and a senior confidant just through years of experience.
You've pointed this out. You look at all these ideas. And how does that, from the first time kind of the idea kind of pops up on your screen, so to speak, how does this process look like?
If we then think it's interesting, we have two different paths that we follow. One is we can fast track it and say, look, let's present it to the investment group, the general partners, to decide whether or not we want to proceed with this in an aggressive way. Or we can take a slower track, which is to do some due diligence, maybe get a subcommittee of the general partners together to ask the key questions that we need to be resolved, and then put together a package that addresses those, and then present that to the partners.
So one thing I find curious about this whole venture capital thing is there's so many different players now, right? There's crowdfunding, business angels, super angels, venture capitalists, institutional investors. Can you say a little bit how this has changed the dynamics?
That's changed a lot, I think, since about the middle of the 2000s, when we saw, first of all, a much lower cost barrier to getting products to market. So entrepreneurs needed less money. We saw more sources for that because particularly in some place like the San Francisco Bay Area, we saw more young people who had made a great deal of money in the startup world, reinvesting that money as angels. Or we saw small groups of new players with small funds enter the world. They could raise $20, $30, $40, $50 million funds and actually build very successful portfolios. This was a completely new trend in the venture capital world. And what it meant for us was that we needed to add a lot more value in order to create and win the best deals and to innovate and incubate the best entrepreneurs, because we had to bring a lot more than capital to the table. So it became a process of investment in our own abilities to bring value. It also meant that the way that we looked at deals changed.
thank you so much. This was a truly great pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for inviting me. INSEAD is a fantastic experience. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And thanks for this discussion.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.